Hi, welcome back to Preserving Your Memories. I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service, your family and consumer science agent. We have been talking about specifically preserving our memories and how, because we know those memories can have a positive effect on our mental health, and having a nice way to keep those, as well as maybe sometimes we just need that little mental health break, and doing a little crafting is a great way to get that. So using things you have or having a plan to go to the craft store can save you money and make it something that's a very inexpensive gift, a way to share. Just use a little bit of your creativity. If you're not real creative, there's ways to work around that too. So we talked last time about all the different types of supplies. We want to make sure we have archival safe, acid-free things so that our photos and our memories are well preserved. Today, we're going to talk about how we can take that a step further. We're going to make our scrapbook pages with all the things we want, and that's great. And we said we could frame them even to give as gifts. Here's another great thing that you can do. You can do gift albums and theme albums. And a gift album can be a theme album, it kind of overlaps. But when we talk about a theme album, that means instead of just thinking about what I'm going to do for this page, I may have a whole album that I want to put together. Maybe we had a really great family vacation and I have all these photos, and I want to put all those together into one book. So that's a great thing that I can start with. And then I'm going to go pick out the papers that go along with that, whether I want to highlight specific colors. Sometimes when you're on your trip, you can pick up packages if you plan that far ahead of things that specifically relate to where you are. So there's a lot of different ways, and even very small or inexpensive, you can make them whatever size you want. But again, here's another example. We talked last time that my son had done the scrapbooking project. And so we made just this little theme album to highlight his futurity and versatility horses. And so it's got the covers. These are just the very inexpensive, pick them up for $1, $1.50 photo albums with the 4x6 pages in it. This page comes out to leave you a clear color, so you can scrapbook and fix that however you would like. We talked about giving them as gifts, donating them for items. We did these at some of our different programs last December, getting ready for Christmas. So figuring out what you want to put on that, and you can see we did the front and the back. And then throughout the book, some places are just photos, but some have information. It tells about what he did and how those things came together. There's a heading for the section with that cutesy little scrapbook page right there, and the photo added. I can't get the pages to not stick together and turn. And like I said, and then we have somewhere we just added the photos. So we decided what sections we wanted, how we wanted to pull that together. Cute, simple, very inexpensive to do this, okay, and have a theme album that kind of captures everything that he did with those projects. So this was a personalized one, very much so, that he's going to keep. But you could do these for anyone or for any holiday, for specific things. If you want to put this together, maybe for Mother's Day, and your theme is the grandkids. And so you make just the section page for each grandkid, and then a place for 5 or 6 photos. And maybe you don't have all those photos, so you leave that where they can insert their own photos. So that's the great thing about a gift album, is you're putting it together around whatever theme or whatever idea. This is a great way to put together a baby book. We talked last time, or when we made our covered albums, covering those with a theme that matches the nursery, or you can do something like that. That would be a great fit. And then you make the scrapbook pages already. You can also purchase pre-made kits that you can give as well if the crafting piece is not really your thing. All of those are great ideas, but that it's already there and it's ready for those new parents to just put those photos in when the baby comes. So you can purchase, as I mentioned, kits that already have the theme all together. So I pulled out some of the ones that I have that I've had, again, for a really long time, because I don't always have time to craft as much as I would like. So you can see 4-H, and this came as a set with different papers. You can see all the different, of course, all the different green and white, but some of them that have bigger things. Some of these are front and back, different papers, which is great because then you can slide them into that, and you can even do both sides. Some of the stickers, this is actually the 4-H pledge. okay, so that it could be placed straight on a page. Different stickers, different highlights, things that you can punch out and put on, or some that are, like I said, just big archival safe stickers that you can add. Okay, so you can see then this is a whole same thing for FFA. It's got the papers in there, it's got the stickers that you add on. So now that my kids are bigger and they're older and they are involved in FFA, as they do activities and we go through, particularly as they get closer to being seniors, and we want to put together maybe a scrapbook of some of their more memorable high school accomplishments and activities. So here's a great way to do that. And then I can go out and get a couple pieces of football paper or school paper. There's academic ones, all types of stuff to add to that, so that every page doesn't have to be the same, but it falls along with that theme. So like I said, it makes a great way to give gifts. It's a great thing to preserve those memories and have it all kind of fit together. You can get, this is actually one of the bricks that we had talked about that I had picked up on clearance somewhere, and it's all Christmas papers. But within this packet, there were, let's see, punch outs, stickers that can go along with that. It has the letters to make different things. So there's a lot of things you can pull out for that. And so I can look at this and I can go, okay, so I want to do a Christmas theme. What are the things I would like to have, whether I'm going to frame it or I'm going to put it into an album. So I pulled out a few things. Most of my Christmas decor, when I get that out, if I was doing this specifically for me, I have a lot of snowflakes, snowmen, things along those lines. And then I like poinsettias. I do a lot of red poinsettias on my tree, things like that. So I have this fun sheet with the poinsettias on it. So this is the kind of thing too, to think about, all right, if I know what photos I'm going to add, do they really need to go on a solid background? Do I want to add a black and white photo? Is there something that I want to put to go with this? And then you can go through and look at your punch outs and your items and just see, hey, you know, that would be cute. How do I want to put that on there? And so the whole thing with layouts, whether you're making a gift album, if you're trying to follow a theme, is lay it out. You want to put your items on there and go, because I found these cute, okay, I like this. It says together, and I really like that for the holidays. And this is just a simple red frame. There are striped ones and other things, but if I'm going to use this busy background with all these flowers on it, I probably just want solid colored frames that I can put around photos. So I'm going to figure out, okay, where does that need to go? I have this just a fun punch out that I can journal a Christmas memory. I can put a year on it. I can just write Turner for our name, however I want to do that. And then there were these great little flowers I could punch out that match. Okay, now these are made out of from the paper. These are just a heavier weight paper. They're not actually stickers, so I'm going to have to use some of my different adhesives that I talked about to attach these. I can use, there's some great little, it's like a foam kind of adhesives that will give it that pop. We've talked about that in some of our different videos as we've done crafts that make things three-dimensional. So I could make that flower stand out a little on there. But just playing with it, moving things around before you ever glue or stick anything, so that you can go, you know what, that T is just too dark. I'm going to take that off because I don't really like that. And we move that aside and we switch things around for the next thing. And just being able to play with your layouts, figure out your themes. And again, maybe you didn't find what you wanted in this theme, and we're going to go through our Christmas wrapping paper and, oh, there's a really cute bow that would match this, and add some of those extra special embellishments to that page. So again, consider how you're going to put your album together, what it needs to look like if you're going to have all of those three-dimensional items. Okay, and so then finally, what I'm going to add for you today, when you're making a gift album, something to pass along, or even just where you want to keep that theme together, maybe it was a birthday theme, or like I said, you want to make that baby book. A cute, fun way that you can add to that is you can add a pocket. So you can make a pocket that coordinates, and so above just having your page protectors in there where you can shove stuff in them, here's a cute, fun thing that you can put together. And so this one is done with my decorative tape, a scrap of that paper that I had left over. Okay, I wanted to make it 8.5 by 11, so I cut down another sheet of paper. okay, because I didn't have one that was that size, but I want to make it that way to fit in my 3-ring binder that I'm going to use. So I just cut, and you can do it up to half, you can do it a little smaller, however big you think that pocket needs to be. And so like I said, this one, I went ahead and used the decorative tape and I put it all the way around, so that's why it's halved. And then I felt like, you know, that could really just look a little more finished. So I put a decorative row just there across the top. But now if I put this, like I said, maybe it was a birthday party and we want to save all of those special cards and things that people brought to give. So here's a pocket now where I can slip those in and keep it all together in my book with my photos. Okay, so there's lots of different ways that you can put your pockets together. If you want to use a little heavier because you're not sure what all you're going to put in it, this is just the cardstock, and you can see this was a brick of just cardstock in solid color papers. These have a little bit of texture to them, kind of cute. Again, look at those fun colors, all the things that you could do with that to put together. So if you want to get a little fancier, you can actually sew on your cardstock or your paper. Grab your sewing machine, just stitch around the edge. If you're an embroidery fan and you want to pull out your embroidery threads, just do some cute little designs around the edge. How special is that to give as a gift? Okay, another thing you can do, super simple. I actually did this one, I folded it across so that I would have a pocket on both sides when it was done. So I folded the purple underneath on my blue cardstock for my backing. And then I just took a hole punch and I punched holes down the side. Again, this is where if you're the super precise person, you're gonna mark them off and do it. If you're not so worried about that, you're just gonna punch some holes. Either way, you're fine. If I was just doing one side, I would punch holes across the bottom as well because I wanna make sure that's secure. And then this is just plain old ribbon that I've run through these holes, just in and out, sewn through there to attach the pocket. And then you can do all kinds of, you can just tuck these tails in, okay, and glue them down, or you can do some type of a cute little design, okay, with you can just flip that ribbon. Maybe I can, maybe I can't, okay, to make it lay and have a cute little design at the bottom of your pocket. Add a button on top of that. How sweet, but very simple. Okay, tie a bow, okay, and just attach the bow on the edges to cover up those edges of ribbon that you don't want showing. So a cute, fun thing that you can do, it's homemade, it's a homemade gift that you can pass along to someone, and then they can slip the cards or special messages or whatever those special things happen to be that they want to save and keep right into that pocket. It stays in their album with their photos and all of their memories. So using all of the supplies we've talked about, if you've covered your album, you can put those things in. Think about what do you want your theme to be, practice your layout, and then make some fun, cute pockets to go along with that. Great way to preserve your memories and give someone else the opportunity to preserve theirs. Again, I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service. You can always give us a call. Check out our website, curryextension.nmsu.edu. We are located at the fairgrounds in Clovis, and our number is 575-763-6505.